Hey, this is Eric Amundsen with WordCamp Seattle, and I'm here with Devin Sears from Bluehost, who is one of our gold sponsors this year. Really excited to have Bluehost participating. And Devin, you are the field marketing manager at Bluehost, I guess. Can you kind of explain what that is for our folks?
Yeah, so I have an incredible job. Basically, my job is to handle all the back-end logistics and the strategy for Bluehosts when we're attending these events, specifically the WordCamps. So I get to go to all of the WordCamps around the country. Because of that, I often act as a community liaison for Bluehost. I go to just a ton of different WordCamps and get to interact with the community almost nonstop. It's great.
Wow. Neat. Lots of travel.
Lots of travel. I think I took my 56th flight this year, just this week.
Wowza. That's
If I stopped right now, that's more than one a week.
Right,
yeah,
right.
If I stopped right now, but I still have 3 or 4 more events I've got to get to, including WordCamp Seattle.
Great. Well, that'll
Yeah.
be the best one, of course, right? So I'm interested to know, like, how long has Bluehost been involved in the WordPress community? This is certainly not your first WordCamp sponsorship. I've seen you at tons of WordCamps, but
Definitely not, yes. So I believe we've been involved with WordPress, I want to say since 2005.
Mm-hmm.
We've been pretty heavily involved with WordCamps in the past 2 years. That's when I started doing the field marketing. So that's when our program is ramped up. We were a sponsor before that, just through financial contributions and things like that. But in the past 2 years is when we've really stepped it up and actually sent out a presence and actually been attending these events.
So why does Bluehost do this? Why do you guys sponsor WordCamps?
I like to say we've seen what the product can do, and we see what the community can do with the product, and we love seeing those two together. So we want to facilitate that for our users. WordPress is easily one of the most powerful site builders on the web right now. And this year we've kind of become more WordPress centric in our products and offerings. And so with that, we want to go out and support the community however we can. And oftentimes that's financial contributions to the camp. Sometimes that's through us going and, teaching a class or doing a workshop. But oftentimes it's just being a part of the community.
Right. So speaking of community, like, what does the community mean to you and to Bluehost as a whole?
That's a really good question. I think the community is all of the individuals that are coming together for a common cause. And in this situation, the common cause is to kind of build a better version of the web on the WordPress platform. I think specifically in the WordPress community, everyone is incredibly helpful. Everyone is incredibly friendly. Going to a lot of these events, I see people on a regular basis that have installed WordPress for their first time earlier that week.
Mm-hmm.
To also, I've seen people on the other side of the spectrum that have built a very successful and full-time career off of WordPress, whether that be themes or plugins or just even, participating in a development shop or something like that.
Mm-hmm. It's got to feel great to be part of that. I mean, for me, it's great to be part of that. I'm more on the development side, but it's so nice to see companies like Bluehost participate in WordCamps and give back, and you're facilitating this community giving back to itself, right? It's kind of perpetuating this. This is wonderful. Well, I don't know if you know, but this year, being Seattle, home of Boeing and whatever, this year our theme is aviation. So our last kind of goofy question is, if I were to take you to Boeing Airfield following WordCamp and told you we'll fly you anywhere in the world to meet some new WordPress users, developers, or designers, where would you go?
This is a really good question because I travel a lot.
Yeah. So like, I would go home and talk to my wife.
No, so if it was just based off the destination, Bora Bora has been at the top of my list lately for places to get to.
All right.
But if it was, to interact with the community there, I've been to the WordCamp Europe for the past 2 years, and I've been really impressed with what we've seen there. And obviously, every WordCamp we go to, I've just been blown away by the community. But I feel like I've done I've done a couple laps around the country here, so I think it'd be fun to interact with the community in Europe a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, thank you so much for your time today. And on behalf of the whole WordCamp Seattle organizing team, thank you and your team for sponsoring us. We really appreciate it. And we really appreciate what you do for the WordPress community.
Yeah, you're very welcome. We're excited to come out and hang out with you guys.
Right on. Well, we'll see you next week. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Take care.
See ya.